And one night I go to the fucking Comedy Store to do what I usually fucking do. And I go to the bar, I get my soda, I get my water, and I walk into the fucking hallway at the Comedy Store, and I'm about to go up the original room stairs, and I saw a girl I had seen there before, out of the corner of my eye. But rule number one at the store was not to mess around with the waitresses, that Mitzi would get mad at you. I had such a good thing going with Mitzi that I didn't want to ruin it. So rule number one when you're a young comic, if you want to come back to that club, don't sleep with the waitresses. They just don't like it. Don't get me wrong. You know, I snorted coke with waitresses and did heroin and did pills and the whole fucking thing. But I never went back to that club. You follow me? So if you want problems in your career, if you don't want no problems in your career, you tip the waitresses, you're very nice. I mean, don't get me wrong, love is love. I'm not here to stop love, but don't mess with waitresses. But when I walked up the stairs, I had seen this girl before. She was a waitress. I had seen this girl before, but for some reason at this time, we locked eyes. And I noticed that her fucking eyes were, you know how dark it is in the store? Her fucking eyes are so beautiful and so blue that I got locked into them. And I did what most people do, you smile. I smiled and said, how are you? She was a waitress. And I took the fucking chair and sat down and watched the show. And I did some jokes or whatever the fuck. And then later on, when it was time to party, I went out there and I saw her. And I approached her and I asked her how long she had worked there for. And she said about 3 years. And I go, that's funny, you know, because I did see her one night at Coaching Horses. I was with a bunch of guys up there and they were sitting in, at that time, the only waitress I really spoke to was Eleanor, this girl Olympia. There was a couple of waitresses at the time, Eleanor's good friend that I was tight with, but there was a lot of waitresses I didn't talk to.
Did they change too much, or it was just you were there to do a spot and get out, so you just didn't?
You know, Eleanor was the first person I met from Philadelphia. So I right away identified with Eleanor, and then she introduced me to the waitresses little by little, and then I was on the road. I wasn't sticking around. I was on the road. And when I would come in, I would definitely be there on Sundays, but I would leave on Tuesday.
Wow.
So even if I wasn't here for the week, I would see Mitzi on Sunday. So it would stay fresh in her mind. Forget about the week. It's what she saw on Sunday. So I would make sure to be back on Sunday to be with her. So that was my plan. I went back, I got a drink. I think we started talking about something, you know. She told me she was from Tennessee, blah, 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 blah. And I think I went home the first night and didn't say anything. Then I went up to the store the second night, and there she was again. And you know me, dog, I'm a sucker for a white chick. You know what I'm saying? They could come in all colors and sizes. I'm a sucker for a white chick. And I love blue eyes. And I looked at her and we started talking and she was very sweet. And I just asked her if she wanted to get fucking coffee. And she said yes. And the next day I took her for coffee. And then...
So, like, leading up to this, you had said that you were lonely, but, like, had it reached
I was lonely, but I knew I didn't want to drag nobody through the fucking mud. When I moved here with a girl, and I dragged her through the mud. And what does that mean, dragging her through the mud? My life was comedy. That's very tough on a woman. That's very tough on a woman. When you meet a girl and you fall in love with her, like I've said 1,000 times, at first for a woman, it's a novelty that you're a comedian. It's a novelty. But then it becomes a reality when you knock them up. Or when you say, I do. Now it's a different thing. They got your ear from a different perspective now. And they start saying to you, why do you have to leave for 3 weeks? Why do you have to leave for 2 weeks, you know? And then you have a kid with them, God forbid. And now you're going on the road. And like I said before, you're calling them saying, I'm over at Joey Diaz's house for smoking weed. and you could hear the two kids crying in the background.
Right.
So, do you understand me? For a woman's perspective, it's very hard. So I knew that already. I had already dated a girl in Denver that fucking didn't like comedy. I had been through this already. So when I moved to the major leagues, this is the major leagues. If I had a hard time dating with the minor leagues, could you imagine the major leagues? It's like going to prison. You want to go to prison and keep a girl on the outside, you're going to lose your mind. You're going to lose your mind. You're going to want to shoot yourself in the fucking mouth. Because every time you call her house and she don't answer the phone, you're going to jump out of your fucking skin. Your mind takes you somewhere. You're not doing drugs. You're not seeing other women. You're not doing anything. So you're sitting in a cell by yourself, watching a black and white TV. That's why when you watch the movie Carlito's Way, and she says, what happened to you inside? And he goes, I didn't want to go through that. When I got locked up, I had a girlfriend, and I got to tell you something. I'm not the overly jealous type. We all have natural jealousy. If you have a girlfriend, a guy talks to them, a good-looking guy, we all have our insecurities, but I saw guys fucking kill themselves in jail.
Fuck.
Over women. I got stories about guys putting their head through glasses and shit.
Wow. So, but like, I guess my question was, like, you weren't at a place where you're like actively looking for a girl, and you.
No. Why would you want to put somebody through this shit?
Wow.
This is. I'm on my 9th year, and I'm working fucking 48 weeks a year. I'm in my 9th year, and I'm working 40 to 48 weeks a year. I'm doing fucking 30 to 40 spots a month. I got no time for girls. I had a girlfriend. She would tell me her family was coming to town. That's great. What the fuck do you want me to do? Well, we planned the dinner. I'm not going on dinner with your family. I'm doing the fucking open mic at 8:30, and then I got this other place at 10. I pick up $50, and I got the store at 12:45. What dinner are you talking about? I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about that shit. While everybody else is playing around and going on dates and doing shit, I wasn't doing that. I was hustling with Felipe. I was in the car going to meet Felipe with Marilyn. Marilyn would pick me up, and I was going down to fucking do a $35 spot, and I had a kick-in 10 for fucking gas. You know, but that was part of the fucking life I chose. Why would I want to put... I had a fucking bag. I didn't have furniture. We think I had like a bathroom kit when I was on the fucking road. I had a bag with 4 pair of jeans, a nice pair of pants, a nice shirt, a jacket, a suit jacket. I had a couple sweaters in there and a few T-shirts, no underwear, and socks that were fucking yellow from foot fungus and God knows what else. That's all I had. Gel, toothpaste, toothbrush, deodorant, a fucking razor, and some talcum powder. That's it. That's in your travel bag. That was my whole fucking life. That was it. That's exactly what I had. When I left Boulder, that's what I fucking took with me, the essentials. Nothing else came with me. When I met Terry, that's what I had. So I met her the 3rd day. It was cool. And then one night she brought her girlfriend over to meet me. Over at Ralphie's apartment. Ralphie was out of town. I'm like, come into my apartment. You know what I'm saying? I'm making believe like this is my apartment. This is Ralphie's fucking place. I had to tell my Terry later on that's not my place, you know. So she came over with a girl. We talked. The girl checked me out. The girl happened to be from Long Island. We had a few things in common. So now Terry had the green light, kind of, sort of. So the next day, I was broke. And I was fucking hungry. I had like maybe fucking $4. And I go, you know what? I'm going to go take her out to lunch. But she's going to pay. Like, I don't know how we're going to do this. This isn't going to work. And I fucking walked a mile to her house, rang the doorbell. This was nice to get up at 8. And I would fucking kill time. I would go to like a coffee shop because I lived on a couch. When you live on somebody's couch, doesn't mean you sleep till 12, even if you got in at 4. You got to get up at 8, fold the sheet, put it in the closet, take a shower, and you got to go somewhere. I would go to a different apartment and write. You know, Celine's at work. Let me go to her apartment and write now. I would go over there, make a pot of coffee, write a little bit, take a shower, And then one day at like 12, I was just hungry. I thought about her. I really had a crush on her. So I walked from my house at the time to her house. I didn't have a car, nothing. I rang the doorbell. She came down and buzzed me in. I told her I was hungry and I wanted to get some food, but I only had like $5. And she goes, fuck it, let's chip in and we'll get lunch. And she made me red beans, rice, and chicken or some shit. And I fell in love with her. I was like, this is it. This is the girl. And then the next day, I asked her to come to the 4th of July with me in Lake Havasu. I was going to take another comic with me. I was going to go with a comic. But the comic wanted to take his girlfriend down with him. So I would have been the third wheel in the back seat. So I said, fuck it. Let me ask. The Comedy Store was closed. She didn't have to work. So I said, what are you going to do for the 4th of July? She goes, nothing. I go, you want to go to Lake Havasu? No pressure. We could come back that night. We don't have to sleep there. And she goes, you know what? I'm not doing dick. Doesn't sound like a bad idea. And we went to Lake Havasu on a date. That was 20 years ago tomorrow. Today,
That's
July
crazy.
1st.
I have a lot less experience with, but and in the little that I do, there's something like it's gonna work when it's easy. Like when there's no like the thing I hate about dating is like when we feel like you're pulling teeth in a conversation, and it sounds like it was just everything was just kind of clicked.
It just all came together in about a 10-day period. It all came together, and then she understood my situation. She understood I lived on a couch. She understood this is what I wanted to do. I told her that, at that time we were still very early on, but I was attracted to her. I liked her, and she liked me. So I would go to the Comedy Store, do my thing, wait for her to get off, and then she would come over to Ralphie's. We were all like a family. We'd all go over to Ralphie's and eat and smoke and drink and fucking, whatever. She didn't know I was doing blow. She thought I was just drinking.
Did your blow slow down at all when you first met?
Around her, but then after a while, she would drink. So I knew she wasn't catching it. Like if you were sober, I wouldn't snort around you. But once you started drinking and you got fucked up, I knew you couldn't tell if I was snorting coke because you would see me drinking.